Nestled within the small Long Island village of Amityville, at 112 Ocean Avenue, stands a house that has become a symbol of supernatural dread. The structure is beautiful, a Dutch colonial style, painted pristine white, its curved attic windows resembling eyes forever watching the street below. But beauty can be deceptive, for behind its iconic facade is a past drenched in blood and clouded by mystery. This story is not just about ghosts or a haunted house. It's a tale of horror and hoax, of media frenzy and murder. A story that transcends generations and continues to spark debate. So turn off the lights, settle in, and let us take you deep into the heart of the Amityville legend. This is ShadowTales. It started with screams, but not from the victims. On the morning of November 13th, 1974, 23-year-old Ronald Butch DeFeo Jr. ran into Henry's bar, yelling for help. "You got to help me," he cried. "I think my mother and father are shot." Police entered the house and made a gruesome discovery. Inside were the bodies of 6 people: Father Ronald Sr., Mother Louise, and siblings Dawn, Allison, Mark, and John Matthew. All were face down in their beds. All had been shot with a .35 caliber Marlin rifle. What was eerie, beyond the slaughter, was the silence. No neighbors had reported hearing gunshots. No one had heard screaming. Even more chilling, forensic analysis revealed all 6 victims had died within minutes of each other. Yet none appeared to have moved or resisted. Butch DeFeo's story unraveled quickly. Within a day, he confessed, "Once I started, I just couldn't stop. It went so fast." He later tried to plead insanity, claiming he heard voices commanding him to kill. Experts remained divided. In November 1975, Butch was convicted on 6 counts of second-degree murder. He spent the rest of his life in prison, dying in 2021. To this day, theories persist. Was he alone? Was it drugs? Was something darker at work? Just over a year later, in December of 1975, the house went up for sale. Priced at a steep discount due to its violent past, it caught the attention of a couple, George and Kathleen Lutz. The Lutzes were newly married, blending their families. Kathy had 3 children from a previous marriage. George, a land surveyor, was known as disciplined and logical. They were not superstitious, but they were practical, and the 6-bedroom house was a dream. Still, they were informed of the murders. The realtor didn't hide it, and yet the Lutzes bought the home for $80,000. They moved in on December 18th, 1975. The first few days were peaceful. They held a blessing, inviting a Catholic priest, Father Ralph Pecoraro. According to George, the priest experienced something strange. While blessing one of the upstairs rooms, he reportedly heard a deep voice command, "Get out." That was the beginning. Within days, the temperature dropped inexplicably. George became obsessed with the fireplace, always cold, always burning wood. Doors slammed, windows opened on their own. Kathy claimed she levitated above the bed. Their daughter, Missy, spoke to an invisible pig-like creature named Jody. Even the family dog nearly choked to death one night, yanked over a backyard fence by an unseen force. By January 14th, 1976, just 28 days after moving in, the Lutzes fled in terror, never to return. They left all their possessions behind. In the aftermath, the Lutzes sought answers. They met with writer Jay Anson, who interviewed them over 45 hours of taped sessions. From those tapes came the 1977 bestseller, The Amityville Horror, a true story. The book was a sensation, selling over 10 million copies. Its claim of being a true story captivated a nation gripped by occult paranoia in the wake of films like The Exorcist. In 1979, the story hit the silver screen. The Amityville Horror movie starred James Brolin and Margot Kidder, further solidifying the house's reputation as cursed. The Lutzes became semi-celebrities, appearing on talk shows, giving interviews, standing by their experiences. Paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren visited the house and declared it spiritually dangerous. Lorraine claimed to have felt an overwhelming presence of evil. The story gave birth to a franchise, sequels, remakes, spin-offs, over 20 films in total. But the more famous the story became, the more critics began to question it. Cracks began to appear in the haunting. Skeptics, from journalists to parapsychologists, began picking apart inconsistencies. Reports from the priest were contradictory. The slime, the voices, the levitations, none were documented with credible evidence. Then came the bombshell. William Weber, the DeFeo defense attorney, stated in a 1979 interview that he and the Lutzes had fabricated parts of the story over wine, hoping to secure a book deal and fund Ronald DeFeo's retrial. The Lutzes denied the claim, but doubts grew. Paranormal investigator Stephen Kaplan called it a hoax after conducting his own research. Local police said no calls were made from the house during the alleged events. Neighbors didn't report anything strange. No forensic evidence of slime or damage. Over the years, lawsuits were filed, reputations were dragged through the mud, and believers clashed with skeptics. Still, the legend endured. The house at 112 Ocean Avenue has been renovated. The quarter-moon windows are gone. Its address has been changed. New owners have come and gone, none reporting any paranormal activity. And yet, people still gather outside, snapping photos, whispering stories. Why does this story still resonate? Perhaps it's because it straddles the line between tragedy and terror. A real mass murder combined with a ghost story that refuses to die. The Amityville saga isn't just about what did or didn't happen. It's about our relationship with fear, belief, and the unknowable. It challenges us to ask, what happens when grief is given a supernatural narrative? When trauma becomes myth? At its heart, the Amityville Horror is about a family destroyed and another haunted, either by spirits or by something far more human. Thank you for joining us on this journey through fact, fiction, and folklore. If you're drawn to the strange and the shadowed, subscribe to ShadowTales, where every story hides a darker truth. We'll be waiting.